sign this. I handed the divorce agreement to my wife. She was stunned for a moment, then she lowered her eyes and raised the corners of her lips, putting on an indifferent look. Has Zhang Cheng provoked you again during this period? No. It's just that my girlfriend wants a status, and I have to satisfy her. She put away her smile, and the disdainful expression on her face turned cold in an instant, and even the look she gave me seemed to freeze me. Shan Feng. It's fine if you just play around outside, but you also want to give her a name. I'm not the kind of irresponsible person. I will take responsibility for what I have done. As soon as I finished speaking, a pair of delicate hands grabbed my neck. What did you do with her? If you were just flirting with her, I would have turned a blind eye. Why are you doing something that requires you to take responsibility now? Do you still remember that you have me as your wife at home? Jia Jingqi's usually cold and beautiful face was twisted by anger. At this moment, she was like a mad lion. As the person closest to her, I have never seen any expression of extreme joy or sorrow on her face since that incident when she was a child. It seems that there is nothing in this world that can make her happy or sad, except for the pretty boy she kept 3 months ago. I don't know how she treats him in private. As a woman, she had limited strength, and I broke free easily. After tidying up the clothes she had wrinkled, he calmly said to her, "Who did it first? Didn't you say that you found a substitute to express your feelings, and you also allowed me to find someone outside to seek comfort? Now I think I'm in love with her. You and I have known each other since childhood and have been married for 7 years. You know how I treat you, but you have always been lukewarm towards me. I still feel it from others, that the feeling of home is so warm, and that women can be so gentle. I fell for this tenderness within a few days. I really don't want to stay in this cold house for even a minute. You were the one who begged me to marry you, and now you've abandoned me for another woman. What's the point of our relationship over the years?" Jia Jingqi clenched her fists tightly, her eyes turning red with anger. This was completely different from what I expected. I think she would sign without hesitation. The only thing that might make her unhappy is that I was the one who filed for divorce, and she, who has always been arrogant and indifferent, might lose face. I didn't expect her reaction to be so intense. No matter what, the ending cannot be changed. Then I'll just consider it bad luck. After saying this, I left this house. Jia Jingqi, Zhang Yang, and I are good friends who grew up together. Our relationship is just like that between Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Zhang Yang's personality is exactly the opposite of his name. He always stays quietly aside without saying anything, acting as a handsome man quietly. He only says a few words when there are only 3 of us. He is handsome and delicate, the type that girls would like at first sight. Of course, Jia Jingqi is also included, but they are indeed a good match. Jia Jingqi is the kind of person that everyone who has seen her since she was a child says is beautiful. Whenever we play together, the adults around us will praise us, saying, "Look how handsome Zhang Yang is, and look how beautiful Jia Jingqi is. Look at the one next to it, it's also quite tall, it's also pretty good." Even I, who is the most popular boy in any school, seems to be overshadowed by their strong brilliance. Everyone regarded them as a perfect match, and Jia Jingqi also silently believed that she should be Zhang Yang's wife. He is the only one in this world who is worthy of me, and of course I like Jia Jingqi, but I know how much she loves to be flamboyant. The eldest lady who was cold to everyone seemed like a completely different person towards Zhang Yang. She was simply the perfect wife and mother in my mind. Zhang Yang kept his distance from everyone, including Jia Jingqi. I am the most cheerful among the 3 of us. I am the one who arranges everything when we do together, and everything is prepared in an orderly manner. Then Jia Jingqi used the things I prepared to take care of Zhang Yang meticulously. It wasn't until we were 18 that Zhang Yang drove his newly bought Bugatti at too fast a speed and had an accident. After more than 10 days of emergency treatment, he was ultimately not saved. During that period, Jia Jingqi was the most distraught I had ever seen her be. Despite her family's opposition, she attended his funeral as his wife. I clearly remember that on the day of the funeral, Jia Jingqi fainted 3 times out of grief, which moved everyone present. From then on, I would go to chat with her whenever I had nothing to do and ask her out for dinner, bringing my dog-licking attribute to the extreme. It took her more than a year to get over the incident, but she still treated me the same as always, like a good friend. I didn't confess my feelings to her, and I knew there would be no one else in her heart. A few years passed like this, and we were all in our early 20s, and our families were looking for marriage partners for us. I still remember that one time when I was signing a contract with someone, Jia Jingqi called me. This is a very normal thing for me. She doesn't have many friends, and except for the one who died, I am the only one she can talk to. So she still calls me often. Whenever she has something happy or sad, she will talk to me, but that's just talking. I walked out of the office and answered the call. What's going on, Jingqi? Are you busy now? I have something to tell you. The tone of voice on the phone was naturally the same as it has always been. I'm signing a contract, and then I have to have dinner with them, and then. My family has been forcing me to go on blind dates these days. You know I'm not in the mood for it right now. If I have to, I hope it will be you. Where are you now? Send me your location. If you are in the city, I will definitely arrive in 30 minutes. As long as I was in a normal state of mind, I should be able to tell that this was a helpless move on her part as she had no other choice. But what is a dog licker? It means that you automatically ignore everything bad she said before, but the last sentence, I hope it's you, is the most profound. Needless to say, the journey was very fast. When I met Jia Jingqi, she simply said a few words to me and then took me to meet her parents. In fact, we are very familiar with each other. We used to visit each other frequently and our family businesses had dealings with each other. So her parents were very satisfied with me. They called my parents at that time, and then we confirmed our relationship. The subsequent engagement and marriage also went smoothly. Our life after marriage has been pretty normal. I still take care of all the chores in life and take good care of her as always. Maybe because we are husband and wife, she treats me differently gradually. I can feel that she loves me, although it is not obvious. Just when everything was moving in the right direction, a job fair came along that changed our marriage. This was a campus recruitment event jointly organized by several local universities, and the most well-known companies in the city were invited. Holding a job fair on campus gives graduating students the opportunity to get an interview without leaving campus. Of course, good students will be recommended by professors personally. As soon as the job fair begins, every company is surrounded by students. After 2 hours, there is already a thick pile of students' resumes on the table. Just as the meeting was coming to an end, I saw someone standing in front of Jia Jingqi's company next door. He seemed to have just woken up, with messy hair, a casual vest and shorts, and slippers on. I wondered how there could be such unkempt people who didn't even give a good impression to the interviewer when submitting their resume. This person cannot be a top student, as top students are usually recommended by school leaders or professors themselves. But when I saw his appearance clearly, my heart couldn't help but skip a beat. Isn't this just a sloppy version of Zhang Yan? They look so much alike that I unconsciously turned my gaze towards Jia Jingqi. As I expected, she was staring at the boy. I have seen that look before. It was the same way she looked at Zhang Yang. Even though we have been married for several years, her attitude towards me has improved. But I still haven't received such a look from her, even when I was in a daze. A female professor from the school brought a student to me and said, "Hello, Mr. Chen, this is the top-ranked student in our school. She is excellent in both theory and practice. I would never recommend such a talent to anyone else." As soon as the professor finished speaking, a girl next to him stood up and introduced herself in a dignified manner. "Hello, Mr. Chen. My name is Du Xiaoye and I am." I don't know why, but I was feeling a little confused at the moment and didn't pay attention to her self-introduction. I agreed immediately, exchanged greetings with the professor, and then sent them off. When I looked over there, Jia Jingqi was gone, and the student was also missing. I had a vague bad feeling, so after explaining a few things, I left. I called Jia Jingqi several times but no one answered, so I had to go back home and wait for her. I knew how important Zhang Yang was to her. When he died, Jia Jingqi almost lost half her life. In the past, no matter how many men were around her, I wouldn't think much about it. I know her character. She wouldn't even look at other men, but the appearance of this boy gave me a sense of crisis. I waited for her at home all afternoon with a nervous heart. After dinner was ready in the evening, she came home as usual. I put the food on the table and took care of her while she ate. "Why did you leave so early this morning without telling me?" I asked tentatively. There was something urgent at the company, so I went back to deal with it. "It's just a job fair, and it will be fine as long as someone keeps an eye on it." She said it calmly, and no one could sense anything unusual. For the two of us were silent for a while, and I finally asked the question that had been on my mind for the whole afternoon. When the job fair was about to end, I saw a student who looked like Zhang Yang. Perhaps because she heard Zhang Yang's name, her hand that was picking up the food paused for a moment, and a hint of discomfort flashed across her face. "Oh. Are you talking about that sloppy classmate who looks like a homeless person? I read his resume and his abilities don't meet the company's requirements. He doesn't care about his appearance either, so I eliminated him. I was relieved when he heard me, and a smile appeared on my face. This is the authentic Poyang Lake Harry crab that I asked a friend to get. I know you like it the most. I made it according to your taste, how about you trying it? As I was talking, I picked up the biggest crab from the plate and put it in her bowl. She was quite thoughtful. She sensed my change, put down her chopsticks, touched my hand and comforted me. Hubby, Zhang is a thing of the past. You are my only man. I have been waiting for this sentence for 20 years, from childhood to now. Only those who have experienced it can understand this feeling. My eyes were red with excitement and I smiled foolishly, not knowing what to say for a moment. Ha ha. Me too, ha ha. Eat your food, ha ha. Today the professor recommended a student who was ranked first in the whole school. But from that day on, she became busy, coming home very late every day, and sometimes even drunk. She said it was to entertain clients, but everyone who knew her knew that with her personality, no one could make her do something she didn't like. I can even feel that she is perfunctory even in their married life and is even colder towards me at other times. For a licker like me, when there is a problem, the first thing I do is to reflect on myself. What did I do wrong? How can I make her happier? Until one day I passed by their company, it was noon, and I thought of asking her to go to the restaurant next door to have lunch together. Everyone in the company knows me and greets me warmly. I went straight to her office and as I approached I heard someone talking inside. Don't talk so much in the future, don't laugh all the time, and don't wear cheap clothes that cost only 10 or 20 yuan. Don't be so hunched over and look so poor all the time. If you want to learn to be elegant, I sent you the video, you can learn from the person in it. If you are still like this after half a month, you can leave on your own initiative. I understand, Mr. Jia. I will start learning now. I guarantee you will be satisfied in half a month. Okay, go back first, and don't come here until you have learned it well. The man hurriedly agreed, and when he opened the door and saw me outside, they were both surprised. How could you be eavesdropping outside? You are so. This is my husband, you go first. Jia Jingqi interrupted him. The man looked at me with a complicated look and left. Why didn't you call before you came? Jia Jingqi didn't feel guilty at all. Instead, she blamed me for not notifying her in advance. I'm just passing by and wanted to have a meal with you. Didn't you say that this person is incompetent and didn't hire him? If he can't work normally, let him be an assistant and do some odd jobs. I have a meeting later. Don't wait for me. Eat first. Oh. Okay. She had been fiddling with her phone since I came in, completely unaware of my expression. A few days passed like this. She still went out early and came back late every day. She left before I got up and came back after I fell asleep. It just so happens that I will be going to Europe to visit several major clients these days, and I will also bring new products to explain them to them. I went directly to the airport from home in the morning, and the company selected someone who was familiar with the technology and product performance to go with me. I don't know much about this area, so the R&D department decides who to send. When I met the person at the airport, I found out that he was the student recommended by the professor. We are here to recommend new products. You have only been here for a month. Are you familiar with everything? Seeing my distrustful expression, she still looked unconvinced. Mr. Chen, please stop looking down on me. The results of our school laboratory are much more advanced than yours. I have been leading the company's research and development during this period, okay? After hearing her say that, I realized that I had indeed underestimated her, and then I looked at her seriously. The girl Du Xiaoye is extremely beautiful, but her beauty is different from Jia Jingqi's. Jia Jingqi is the type of person who is cold and beautiful, the kind of natural beauty that all men like, but she has an aloof personality and is not good at getting along with others, so it is not very comfortable to be with her. Du Xiaoye is the pure and beautiful type, the image of every man as first love. She also has a good personality and it is very comfortable to be with her. Our first stop was France. It was Du Xiaoye's first time going abroad and the place she wanted to go the most was Paris, France. She heard a host say that Paris was the most romantic place in the world. The air is filled with romance. Even the most dull person will learn how to fall in love after a visit. But when I got there, I found that the air in Paris was filled with the smell of shit and the streets were in tatters. I could see that she was not in a good mood and looked disappointed, so I offered to treat her to a French meal. Du Xiaoye said happily. French cuisine is the most representative food in Europe. I have never eaten it before, so I want to taste it today. This kind of simple girl is easy to coax, and a meal can make her so happy. But it was not until the last dish that she felt that French cuisine was different from what she had imagined. Mr. Chen. This is what is called French cuisine. It's very different from what I imagined. Although it's not bad, it's definitely not gourmet either. Am I a person who doesn't understand romance and gourmet food? Looking at the self-doubting little beauty in front of me, I wiped my mouth and said with a smile, "You have been brainwashed. You don't understand what others say is bad for you. This is equivalent to the emperor's new clothes. In fact, saying that Paris is the capital of romance is just hype. With the smell of feces and urine all over the streets, perhaps only flies can smell the scent of love. In the past few years, the Seine River was full of shit during the Olympics, and the athletes vomited. French food is not about the taste, but the atmosphere, service, and environment. So don't believe those who say you don't understand, because such people are either stupid or bad." 6. After listening to me, she responded with a confident expression, "Then let's go eat Chinese food next time. My naturally Chinese stomach is really not used to French cuisine." "Okay. As long as you perform well and get a lot of orders, I will even air freight Peking duck to you if you want it. It's a deal. I'm not exaggerating. We can easily deal with them," she said proudly. "Then wish us success. Cheers." Cheers. For the next 10 days, we traveled non-stop to all the major cities in France, thanks to Du Xiaoye's outstanding performance and the particularly high cost-effectiveness of our products. We have won a lot of orders, and it seems that our sales volume this year is expected to increase several times. We immediately called back home and asked the production workshop to run at full capacity, with people stopping but machines running 24 hours a day. The night before I left, Du Xiaoye came to me and held out her hand. "Where's the air-shipped roast duck? I want to eat it now. I've been craving it for the past few days, and Chinese food doesn't taste like that." "Oh. My dear aunt. We have to go back tomorrow, and it's too late to ship it by air now. I can even roast a pig for you when we get back to Beijing. I have instant noodles and lao gan ma in my bag, let me have some first." She pursed her lips. "You just lie." When I got home, the first person I thought of was Jia Jingqi. I bought her a lot of gifts, but when I picked up my phone I realized we hadn't talked on the phone for more than half a month. After dialing the number, a man answered the phone. "Who are you?" Asked Jia Jingqi to answer the phone. "Sister Jingqi is busy. You can tell me if you have anything to say. I'll pass it on to her when she's done." I'll say this for the last time, let Jia Jingqi answer the phone. I was originally very happy, but now I'm furious and my tone is a bit unfriendly. "Ah Ching, who called me?" The most familiar voice came from the other end of the phone. "I don't know." I told him to talk to me if he had anything to say, and he yelled at me. "Don't be afraid. It's okay. Husband. Are you back? I was so busy at work recently that I forgot to call you." "Why is he the one answering your phone?" "He's calling you Sister Jingqi and Acheng, you two sound quite intimate." Maybe it was because I had a hostile feeling towards Zhang Cheng when I met him for the first time, so my words were a bit harsh. I've never talked to her like this before, and the person on the other end of the phone was also stunned. "What's the matter, husband? Isn't it normal for my assistant to answer the phone for me when I'm busy? He's just a kid who just graduated from school. Why are you so harsh on him? Husband, you go home first. I'll be with you after get off work in the evening. Prepare my favorite food and wait for me." After that, she hung up the phone. This was obviously wrong. She never let anyone touch her phone, and her previous assistant had never answered the phone for her. I had no choice but to buy some food and go home. When I got home, my WeChat showed that someone had added me. After I accepted, they sent me a lot of pictures and videos of Jia Jingqi and Zhang Cheng together. He also marked the villa and luxury car he bought for him, and took a special flight to Italy to buy luxury goods and play on the beach together. They were in an intimate posture, and Jia Jingqi looked at him with love, but the thing I was most worried about happened. It was almost 10 o'clock in the evening when Jia Jingqi returned home. When she opened the door, a pungent smell of cigarette smoke hit her in the face. Just as she was about to get angry, she saw me sitting on the sofa, with cigarette butts all over the floor and empty beer bottles scattered all over the coffee table. My eyes were terribly red and my hair was a mess. 7. Honey. What's wrong with you? Why do you smoke so much and drink so much? If you want to drink, Wait for me to come back and accompany you. To prevent piracy of Xiaohu files, choose Xiaohu when searching for book robots. It is stable and reliable and you won't fall into traps. Accompany me? I don't need you to accompany me. You should go back and accompany your little lover. What nonsense are you talking about? Where did my little lover come from? Although his voice was loud, he was obviously guilty and his eyes were dodging everywhere. I took out my cell phone, opened the dialogue box, and threw it to her. When she saw it, she was very panicked at first, but then slowly calmed down. By the end, it seemed as if we had returned to the distant relationship we had as friends before we got engaged. Since you already know everything, I don't need to hide it from you. We don't have any unusual relationship. I just think he looks too much like Zhang Yang. He is just like a figurine of mine, and you are my husband. Why do you care about this with him? Hearing her say this, I was so shocked that I sobered up. Before, I only knew that she was cold, but I didn't expect that she had such a shameless side. After she said that, I felt a little ungrateful. You two were hugging each other in the photo, and you told me that you didn't do anything out of line? If I found a woman to do that, would you be able to accept it? I can accept that. See? If you can't accept it, why should I accept it? I picked up an empty wine bottle and threw it heavily on the ground. Listen carefully, what I said is that it is acceptable. If you feel empty, you can find a woman to accompany you. Remember, I said to accompany you, not to have sex with you. Her expression was very calm when she said this. I couldn't even believe my ears, such words actually came out of her mouth. I still have a lot of things to say, but I'm choked up. I see you drank too much today. Let's talk when you sober up. After saying that, she slammed the door and left. I fell down on the sofa, thinking about the person I had loved since childhood, but now seemed so strange to me. I stayed up all night until dawn. In the morning, Du Xiaoye called me and asked, "It's already noon, why haven't you come to the company yet? What's up? Didn't you say you would treat me to roast duck when you return to China? Are you denying your promise now? Okay. Meet me at the best roast duck restaurant. I'll be there soon." I packed myself up and drove straight to the roast duck restaurant. When Du Xiaoye arrived at the store, she had already found a seat. The whole company is busy, how come you are the only one who has time to come out? The first sentence I said when I sat down was full of bossy tone. That's the production workshop that's busy. We're in RD doesn't happen overnight. It can't be done by just working overtime. You capitalists are just cannibals. It's really cute to see her pouting and snorting. Ordered a duck and a few side dishes, and it came quickly. I rolled one and handed it to her first. She didn't hesitate to take a bite and kept shaking her head because of the delicious taste. Roast duck still smells good. As soon as that roll was eaten, this one was passed to him. Don't always make it for me, eat it yourself. I'm used to peeling crabs, lobsters, and rolling roast duck for Jia Jingqi, so it became natural. You are a great contributor to our company this time, so I will serve you first until you are full. As they were talking, a message came on WeChat on his phone. When he opened it, he saw that it was a picture sent by Zhang Chang. He and Jia Jingqi were having lunch in a high-end restaurant, and Jia Jingqi was peeling a crab for him. I copied the picture and sent it to Jia Jingqi, then rolled up another roll of roast duck, fed it to Du Xiaoye, took a picture of it and sent it to her. Ate. Then he said another sentence, "Our destiny is to serve others." Then my phone kept ringing and I pressed the mute button. Whose call is it that I don't need to answer? Du Xiaoye asked, blinking her cute big eyes. Don't worry about her, let's eat our own food. After dinner, he took her shopping and bought some things. I also had dinner and sent her home before I drove back home. The strange thing is that at the end of the day I actually felt an unprecedented sense of happiness and relaxation. When I opened the door, Jia Jingqi was sitting on the sofa, staring at me with a dark face. Why did you come back so early today? Have you eaten? If not, I'll order some takeout for you. I've already eaten outside. As I said that, I walked towards the bathroom, humming a song. You're in a good mood today. That little girl was recommended by the professor, right? Little girls nowadays are more calculating than each other. They are all after your money. Jia Jingqi crossed her arms and her tone was as cold as ever, with no sign of getting angry. You're right. Nowadays, pretty boys are not after money, but they have luxury cars, villas, famous watches and everything else. If I'm after money, then I have to give them airplanes and cruise ships, right? I also teased in a natural tone. Don't be angry. If you get angry and get sick, no one can help you. While I was speaking, I had already gone into the bathroom. But contrary to her usual behavior, she chased after me and shouted at me through the door, "I'm doing this for your own good to remind you not to be deceived. Stop being so sarcastic to me. We are all spending money on our lovers. Why do you call it a gift and I call it a scam? You can't play double standards like this. Okay. You are just trying to annoy me on purpose, right? Fine. I'm leaving. If you have the guts, bring her home." After a few minutes, the door was closed again. In fact, ever since that day when she said that I could also find a woman to accompany me, I let go of this relationship. I thought she would walk out of Zhang Yang's shadow and live a good life with me in the future, but then she met a guy who looked somewhat similar to me and she became so obsessed with him. I don't want a woman who can't be kept warm like this. We started a long Cold War from today. Zhang Cheng sent me the video of their date, and I posted the circle of friends of Du Xiaoye and I together, which was only visible to Jia Jingqi. As I spent more and more time with Du Xiaoye, I found that she was very considerate of me. When I was tired, she could give me a relaxing massage, and when I was hungry, she could cook for me. I just realized that a dog can live a happy life even if he stops licking people. As I couldn't help myself more and more, I confessed my feelings to her after we both had a few drinks. The next day I called Jia Jingqi and asked her to come home and have a good chat in the evening. When I handed her the divorce agreement, she thought I was just threatening her. Little Tiger documents are anti-piracy. Find the book machine and choose Little Tiger, stable and reliable, don't step into traps. When I told her that we were in love and wanted to give her a name, she finally couldn't hold it anymore and had a big fight with me. I left home despite her attempts to keep her. That night I moved into Du Xiaoye and my new home. Everything here was designed by her herself. She also bought all the appliances and furniture. I didn't have to worry about anything. 9. Whoever comes home early will cook. We all do it together as a family. This sweet world of two is becoming more and more enjoyable. It feels to me as if I have lived these nearly 30 years in vain. This is what a home should be like, but before they had a few good days, Jia Jingqi came to visit. Xiaowu Odifile anti-piracy, look for books, robots choose Xiaowu, stable and reliable, no pitfalls. She was still dressed elegantly, but her face showed a hint of haggardness that was hard to conceal. Shan Feng. You're already living with that vixen before we even get divorced? Do you still remember what you promised me? She was always cold and arrogant, and it was rare for her to get emotional. In the past, there was only one person who could move her emotions. Didn't you tell me yourself that I could find a woman? When I saw her again, I was very calm, and felt that she was just someone I was very familiar with. I mean, if you feel bored, you can find a woman to accompany you. I didn't ask you to sleep with her, and I will never agree to you divorcing me because of her. Let me in first, and we can have a good chat. She said as she was about to go through the door. Let's just talk about it here. My girlfriend doesn't mind women other than her coming into the house. Besides, what else can we talk about? I have time to talk about divorce now, but I have to go to work to talk about other things. I blocked the door and didn't give her any chance. Suddenly her eyes turned red and filled with tears. She looked at me in disbelief, wondering how could someone who had been so caring to her in the past be so heartless today. What, he is your girlfriend? I am an outsider? She tried hard to suppress her emotions and not cry as much as possible. Okay. Husband, come back with me now. I can pretend that nothing happened. Give me some time and I will settle Zhang Cheng's matter. This is my home. I'm not going anywhere. I told you very clearly last time that I will not go back to that cold and sterile home. If there is nothing else, I will go to the company. Then I pushed her away and got into the car. I felt that with my ruthless attitude, given Jia Jingqi's proud personality, she would definitely not bother me anymore. But contrary to our expectations, she harassed me in Du Xiaoye even more frequently. She also learned how to cook for me. Knowing that I like seafood, I always received exquisite lunchboxes of peeled crabs and lobsters at noon. When it's cold, he sends me a message asking me to put on more clothes. When it's hot, he reminds me to drink more water and be careful not to get a sore throat. Every time she went on a business trip, she would bring me gifts, but I always returned them. Whenever I needed something, she always delivered it on time. I even suspected that she had someone watching me 24 hours a day. 2 months later, she came to see me again. This time, she looked much better. She didn't look as worried as last time, but seemed very happy. Hubby. I've already dealt with Zhang Cheng's problem. I gave him a large sum of money and sent him to the country he wanted to go to. He will never appear in front of us again in this life. She was not as cold as usual, but looked at me expectantly, and even made me feel that she cared about me a lot. So it turns out that Mr. Jia took so long to get rid of his mistress. He paid a large sum of money and it took 2 months. The mistress really got both money and beauty. No, husband. We didn't do anything out of line. I have evidence. She hurriedly took out a document from her bag. I took a quick look and found it was a consent form for chemical castration. At the bottom was Zhang Cheng's signature, dated 5 months ago, which was when I first met him. Hubby. Does this prove my innocence? I said he was just a figurine of mine. How could I have sex with such a sloppy guy? Not only would this be unfair to you, but it would also be an insult to Zhang Yang. It seems that what she said about not having sex was true. It was not just about the consent form, but more about the fear of insulting Zhang Yang. You don't have to say sorry to me. You're actually mainly afraid of insulting Zhang Yang. If you were determined, why did you ask him to do the surgery? Aren't you afraid that you can't control yourself? Jia Jingqi, the problem between us is not just because of Zhang Chang. I can't stand my wife always having someone else in her heart. I also thought that Zhang Yang was a thing of the past, but the appearance of Zhang Chang made my face swollen. In fact, we are the same kind of people. I am your licking dog, and you are an outspoken licking dog. A licking dog can put aside his self-esteem and lick others, but he doesn't even love himself. A licking dog cannot get love. After hearing this, Jia Jingqi kept muttering, I'm not a bootlicker, I'm not a bootlicker, and left in a daze. In the days that followed, Du Xiaoye and I focused our energy on the company. Meeting her was truly a great blessing to me. Not only does she have strong professional skills, but she also has first-class business skills in introducing products. This time when I returned from the business trip to the United States, I naturally brought back a large number of orders. She was always very tired during this period and always felt like she didn't get enough sleep, so I prepared breakfast and called her to eat. As soon as she sat down and smelled it, she suddenly felt nauseous and ran to the bathroom to vomit. What's wrong? Are you still not used to the climate in the United States? I asked anxiously, patting her back. She took the cup I handed her, rinsed her mouth, and then rolled her eyes at me. It suddenly dawned on me, could it be? Could it be that I'm going to be a father? She nodded without saying anything. When did this happen? Why didn't you tell me? I was so happy that I hugged her in my arms. I want a child of my own so much. I found out before I went to the United States. Then why didn't you tell me? Otherwise I wouldn't let you make this trip. How can you be so squeamish? It's only been less than 2 months, and now. I understand what she means. The divorce cannot be delayed any longer. I called Jia Jingqi that day and made an appointment to have a good talk with her in the evening. She was very happy when she received my call and said she had something for me to see. I arrived at the agreed restaurant on time at 7 o'clock in the evening. Jia Jingqi was already waiting there. When she saw me, she quickly stood up and waved to me. As soon as I sat down, she couldn't wait to hand me a newspaper and a photo. The newspaper was an English newspaper, and the illustration inside was a picture of Zhang Cheng being killed in front of a car in a car accident abroad. The title was that an Asian tycoon died in a car accident. I was not too surprised to see this news because I don't care too much about the life of such a person. But I was really surprised when I saw the photo, which showed a mountain of items being burned. If you look closely, you can recognize that these are Zhang Yang's belongings. 11 These were all Jia Jingqi's most beloved items. They are stored in a separate room and no one is allowed to enter. Hubby. Everything you care about has been cleared. There are no more obstacles between us. Please come back to me. When you are by my side, I feel that you cook for me and do everything for me, which can be done by the aunt at home. You are just flattering yourself. So I didn't take it seriously. But after you left, when I really asked the aunt to cook, I found that I couldn't eat the food they cooked, and I was not satisfied with anything they did for me. Only then did I realize that you are different. Everything you do for me is full of love. You understand and know everything about me, and you can do what is best for me without me saying anything. Husband. I have come to my senses now, please give me another chance. I looked at Jia Jingqi, who was crying in front of me, and I still felt a little bit reluctant. When I came here, I knew that she would not give up easily. So I prepared a lot of unpleasant and heartless words, but now I can't say them. He is the only one in this world who was worthy of me, and of course I like Jia Jingqi, but I know how much she loves to be flamboyant. Like me then laid on the table, covering her face and crying regardless of the occasion. She cried for a long time and I didn't say anything. Finally, she raised her head and wiped away her tears. Okay. I agree to divorce. After all, I was the one who let you down first. The next day we quickly processed the divorce certificate, and when we came out, she stretched out her hand and said, I wish you happiness in the future. I smiled and shook her hand. Thank you, you too. Jia Jingqi Extra. Until I married Chen Feng, I still felt more like him as a friend. I married him more to deal with the pressure from my family to get married. Compared with other marriage candidates, Chen Feng is better, and we have always been friends. Ever since Zhang Yang died, my heart has gone with him. I feel that it would be the same no matter who I marry. After marriage, Chen Feng treated me very well and we lived a peaceful life. It wasn't until I met Zhang Cheng at the school job fair that I realized he was so much like Zhang Yang, so I asked him to be my assistant, bought him a car and a house, and provided him with fine clothes and delicious food. One time, Chen Feng came to the company to see me and I met him. At that time, I didn't take it seriously because there was nothing going on between us. After that, I unknowingly spent more and more time with Zhang Chang and less time at home. What I didn't expect was that Zhang Chang actually took pictures of us eating and playing and sent them to Chen Feng to provoke him. Chen Feng and I had a big fight. I was sure that he would not leave me, so I casually suggested that he find a woman to accompany him. But the next day when Zhang Chang and I were having dinner, Chen Feng sent me a photo of me peeling crabs for Zhang Chang, and then he sent me a photo of him feeding a girl roast duck. This was the first time I felt panic after Zhang Yang's death. I scolded Zhang Chang, left him in the restaurant, and drove away. At that time, I just wanted to ask him clearly, but since then he has become lukewarm towards me and no longer cares about me. 12 later they lived together and Chen Feng proposed divorce with me. At that time, I thought I could still save the relationship because he loved me so much, after all. I went back and fired Zhang Cheng directly. He refused to agree no matter what, saying that I had castrated him and ruined his life, and that I couldn't just dump him. I gave him a large sum of money, sent him abroad, and burned all of Zhang Yang's belongings. Because in the past 2 months I have clearly realized that Chen Feng is the only one who loves me the most and is the best person to me in the world. After he left, I realized that I couldn't live without him, so neither Zhang Yang nor Zhang Chengdu was as important as Chen Feng. But when I had settled everything, Chen Feng showed me a pregnancy test report. I know there is no possibility between us. I don't blame anyone. It was my ridiculous obsession that ruined my happiness. Then I watched them get engaged, married, have a child, and then another child. I think he will be happy forever in this life. If there hadn't been that campus job fair and if he hadn't met Zhang Chang, would our ending have been different? If there is an afterlife, I will never miss you again. End of article.